What's going on, everybody? Rod J back in the house. Thanks for swinging by to check out another video. Today, I'm going to share with you guys another beer, and this is actually going to come from Sam Adams Brewing. Shout out to Savannah for getting me set up to take a look at this beer here in Cincinnati. It is March 7th, and it is Bock weekend. So Samuel Adams at the tap room here came out with a bourbon barrel double Bock. You may have seen this on the unboxing I did previously. Here is a look at the bottle if you did not see it. So we have a 1 pint 6 ounce bottle as indicated there on the label. This comes in at an ABV of 11.8%. And it says on here, lager aged in bourbon barrels. Also, to breaking down the bourbon barrel double Bock, the long awaited spring is almost here, and there's no better way to celebrate than with our bourbon barrel doppelbock. This rich malty German doppelbock is aged in bourbon barrels for 10 months, giving it a rich depth of flavor that's generated to wake you from hibernation. So that's what we're looking at with this beer here. There are some more details with it that I'll hit on real quick as well. With the beer itself, this one is actually being offered, I believe it may just be through the Cincinnati tap room, $20 for a bottle, but they also have for $25, which they actually include bourbon balls. So bourbon balls were created by Makers Bakers Company, and they created these chocolate delights that you can actually pair up with the beer itself, and these are actually made with Makers. So I'm going to actually go ahead and pair these up a little bit as I go through the beer. But go ahead and get this baby cracked open so we can get it poured and then talk about it some here. So again, thanks to Savannah for getting this my way. Looking forward to definitely checking this one out. And also, as far as the whiskey, it was aged in New Riff bourbon barrels as well, just so you know that there too. Nothing like a big bottle of beer on a late Sunday evening, right? Good thing I'm off tomorrow. No worky for this guy. Alright, gonna get this baby poured here. Got a nice brownish color on the beer. Actually using a tulip glass. I'm going to pop that baby over. And you know what? I'm going to put down one of the little candies as well as I hit you with the beer cans. You take a look here. Like I said, a dark, almost like a maple syrup type brown. When you hold it up here on the camera, it's coming through a little bit more reddish as a light being applied behind it. When I do get a light directly behind it, you definitely get more of a darker reddish color to the tone. The head itself came out about a finger. We're down to about a quarter finger, so it did dissipate rather quickly. You get a good feel coming through of the bourbon. Nice sweetness, nice maltiness. Get a little bit of that roastiness coming out of the malts as well. Pick up a little bit of that syrupy type texture too. So let's go ahead and get a taste. Good amount of carbonation. You know, usually I talk about that tongue prickling, but you really feel the carbonation in the throat area. You feel that bubble action taking place. You get the amount of sweetness in play. You're picking up, like I said, not just in the nose, but in the taste, some of that bourbon type feel. You get a nice duration of the flavor. It does have that underlying syrupy type texture to the beer. Sits very well on the tongue. I'm being left with the flavor, so the duration is taking course a nice amount of time. Hold it a second time in the mouth. I now get more of that pop on the tongue as well. You can feel the enveloping of the flavors there. You're getting like a toffee type feel in play as well. Nice overall put together beer thus far. That sweetness, you do have to be a fan of that in your beer because you're getting that amount of sweetness in play. But 11.8% ABV. Not really getting as much of the alcohol. You can feel it a little bit, but it is pretty much well hidden here. A nice smoothness overall. Go ahead and taste one of these bourbon balls and take it out of the wrapper, get a little closer so you can actually see it there. It's got kind of like the sugar there on the chocolate as well. And Makers is always good in my book, so let's get a taste. Mmm. I said sugar, more salt. Definitely more salt. That's a salty caramel type feel. Very smooth. Nice sweetness to the candy. Putting them together, not getting anything that really pops out too much, but I do like salty and sweet. So I do like having that salt react to the maltiness of the beer. That does go together nicely along those lines. And what you get left behind now, the salt gets left on the tongue from the Maker's Ball. And so when you're drinking afterwards, that's washing over the tongue, and you're getting a nice sweetness and that toffee type feel mixing up now in play as well. So it is a nice pairing. I'm gonna have another one here. There were 6 that were actually in this box. It's got a little bit of a richness in between the beer and the candy, but that's all right. Definitely feeling pretty good. Maker's Bakers did a nice job with this, by the way. That salty mixed with that chocolate and that nice feel. I'm not sure if they use caramel in it, but you're getting like that caramel type substance there. My spider sense says it probably is caramel. And again, washing it back down with the Bock. Brings everything together nicely. A nice pleasant beer here for a Bockfest weekend from Samuel Adams. And again, thank you, Savannah, for sending it my way. Definitely enjoying this bad boy. And I haven't had a lot recently with the Samuel Adams beers, so it's nice to get back in and check out some of the other things they're doing. Which reminds me that I need to get down again to the tap room we have here in Cincinnati. We have so many different breweries that are around, it's hard to get to them all. But these are things like why you want to go, because you don't see things like this in a lot of the other places. You have to go to tap rooms to find them. Nice beer, nice chocolate, a nice night, and I'm going to nicely enjoy. I'm going to go ahead and kick back and relax. Hopefully you guys enjoy and have a great week. I look forward to talking to you soon. Keep drinking those good craft beers. And remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. Cheers, everybody.